Hey, you. Yeah, you. See this button right here? Press it. Subscribe to the channel.
She's real angry with him for some reason. Oh, I'm calling the police. I'm gonna get you kicked out of my house, right? He could be paying the bills, but it doesn't matter. His name is not on the paperwork. So now when you flip it and the woman, because you never hear a man saying, I'm gonna call the cops and kick a woman out. You don't, that don't really happen, right? If that happens, that's strange, right? But when a woman now comes into a man's home, she respects him more. Now she knows, okay, this is a real one. Hey, I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna handle my business. Doesn't mean you don't go to work. You can still work and whatever. But when y'all come together to make decisions, that man has to have the preeminence over the final say. You might be smarter than him in certain areas. Some sisters are very intelligent when it comes to handling money. Some guys are not that great. Well, then let your wife handle it then, if that's the case. You gotta be smart, right? But if your wife can't handle a damn dime, what's the purpose of giving her the money? To do what? Keep ordering from Amazon? No, that makes no sense. So you have to use common sense, but at the same time, everything has to be done in order according to the Bible, right? Give me the thing in about the men working and all that. What's that? Thessalonians, Timothy 3.
Yeah,
Watch this. Watch this, sis. Because there's a way we have to be. How you doing, sis? What's your name? Keneal? Yeah. Okay, that's a new one. I ain't never heard that one before. Keneal. How old's your baby?
She's 6 months.
6 months? All right, you just had it. All right, all praises. All right. Watch this, sis. So what we talking about now, we talking about marriage. All right? Are you married? How about your baby girl's, is that a girl? How about her dad? Are y'all together? Why not? See? You don't have to tell me anything. But the point is, that's how our people are. We're getting together, we're fighting with one another, and then we're not together with a 6-month-old baby now in the world. So who's supposed to teach this baby? Right. But
Me and God.
you and God. So here's God. God is in his Bible, right? So you have to get around godly people in order to get that understanding, all right? So Lord's will, at some point, her father will get that understanding. Because sometimes things happen. The man might turn around later and say, damn, you know what, I wasn't handling that correctly.
Right.
You know, he might not have handled things correctly. Maybe you might be the bad guy in the situation. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, this child needs daddy and mommy, regardless of whatever the hell is going on. All right? If he's not dead or he's not in jail, then he needs to be involved.
Right.
You understand? Watch this.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
There's more to that. There's more. There's more. Give me about the rule his own house well and all of that. That's what I want. Watch this, y'all. All right? Because like we were showing our sister right here. Once you get together with that man, right? Because guess what? When y'all came together, that wasn't of the Lord. That was born on your lust. You understand? I'm just telling you straight. I'm not telling you something that we have not done. I'm telling you what I'm gonna speak for myself. That's something I've done, right? You got together with a woman for lust, whatever, boom. It just so happens that woman I got with for lust, I wound up having 3 children with her. You understand what I'm saying? But we did get married and then we got divorced right away. You know what I'm saying? Because we wasn't right. We wasn't right. You understand? But my kids is good, they're grown, whatever. I was always in their life. You understand what I'm saying? So we don't have excuses as men. And a woman shouldn't have an excuse just because you're angry. That doesn't mean you don't have the man around to take care of his child. That is not an option. You understand what I'm saying, sis? There's not that much anger in the world because that anger is going to turn into hatred for your own child. Because children love their father. They love their fathers. Trust me. Come on.
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 4. One that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God?
Right, so you got to know how to rule your own house as a man, right? But how can he rule over his baby girl if he's not in the house? But he has to have some kind of a relationship with his baby, all right? So if, again, sis, I don't know what's going on, but if there is some anger there present between you and the brother, y'all have to now push that to the side. And I know it's hard because a lot of pride and everybody want to play like they tough. No, you're not. That's not important now. Because when baby girl gets big enough to talk, and she's like, where's my dad? Oh, well, you know, we had a problem. What problem is this? You know what I mean? So we gotta be there for the kids. And a lot of times brothers wanna be there, but the women are so angry that they don't allow the men to be there. What's going on, bro? How you doing? Oh, all praise. Oh, man, we talked you right up. All praise. Oh, that's your cousin. Oh, sorry, bro. Sorry, I thought you were the child's father. But at the end of the day, we have to be there for our kids in order to raise them correct. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No. You go ahead.
People are meant to be in your life for a season, so you can pray for someone, y'all can pray together, but the devil will come between your relationship, and some people are meant to be with you. This is what I've been telling my cousin everywhere I go with family. So, you know, whether I'm a single mom or not, what you're doing is right. You're preaching the word, but you have to get this message out because God wants you to. But I will be fine. God has been taking care of me and my baby. But some people are only meant to be together for a season, not for eternity. I know in the Bible it says, "Wives, submit to your husband." So I do what I can on my own.
Okay.
But some people are only meant for a season, so you just gotta
So
pray.
let me
and
ask you a
go about
question.
your life.
Let me ask you a question, my sis. Who decides when? Do you decide when you're gonna be obedient to your husband?
I don't make those decisions.
Who
I
does?
let God decide that for me.
So,
Purpose my
all right.
life.
So let me ask you a
I'll
question.
put it into place.
So let me ask you a question. How were you looking for a husband?
I was,
You were looking for a husband.
yes, but things happen.
Things happen. Things do happen.
It-
You heard
People are only meant to be in your life for a season.
Sis,
not
I heard you the first time, but I want to show you something. I want to show you what happens to our people when we go into disobedience. I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about me. Remember, I get my situation. I'm telling you, right? Watch this. The same thing we were reading, I want where the Lord started to deal with Eve based on her madness, right? Watch everything that took place. Matter of fact, start with where he started dealing with Adam, because Adam is the head.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife.
He said, Adam, because you listen to your wife. Guess what's going to happen to you now? And the reason I'm bringing that out is because the man is supposed to be a man for real. Right. When the woman come and brings something, he has to analyze everything she's talking about. Once he says no, that's it, it's game over. That's it. But she worked on him and he broke. So the Lord said, oh, because you listen to that woman, guess what? Yeah, my sister, I want you to pay close attention. Because we have to, remember, the Lord said be obedient to your husbands. I don't know if you like that. Okay, but watch this.
Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it.
He said, cursed is the ground for your sake now. When you read back in the book of Genesis, they never had to do anything. There was no rain. The dew would come up from the ground and water all the plants, water all the food. Everything, lions and everything ate plant life. He didn't have to work. All he did was run around and be the king.
That's right.
That was it. He had his woman, he had his children, he was the king. Because you listen, now, I'm taking away all that. Now the ground is cursed. Watch this.
Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
You heard that? From the sweat of your face, meaning now you have to work. Adam didn't have to work at one time. The food would come right up, big, huge. Boom, eat. He was strong. He was a monster back then. Or for just vegetables, because the vegetation was way different. Now he's saying by the sweat of your brow, you have to work now to eat. This is due to disobedience. Watch.
It said, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return to the ground. For out of it wast thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. And verse 20. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Oh, that was it. Oh, you want more?
Where's the one with Eve in 16?
Verse 16.
Yeah, come on. Jump.
Verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
You heard that? He said, in sorrow and travail shall you bring forth children. When you bringing forth children, right? Do you feel pain? Right. That's not what was going on before. When Eve was bringing forth children, she was bringing them forth with no problem. They were having children every 3 to 4 months. You didn't know that. It's not written in the book of Genesis right here. You got to read deeper in. The children were coming out every 3 to 4 months. Bang, bang, bang. And they were talking early, like around months old. Yeah, you find that in the book of Ezra. All right? This is how the world got so populated quickly. That's what was happening. Now, guess what? Now you have pain bringing forth those children. Why? Disobeying the words of God. Right? He said you were being disobedient to your husband because God didn't talk to Eve directly. Hey, listen, you do this, you do it. No, he said, Adam, instruct your household what to do. So he said, because you disobeyed your husband, come on.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he...
Hold on. And your desire shall be towards your husband. But if you want to battle with your husband 50-50 and what he should be doing and what you should not be doing, or people are only in my life for a season, then you won't look at the man honorably. You understand what I'm saying, sis? We have to be able to look at our people honorably. That's why when we looked in Hebrews 13, it said, marriage is honorable in all. So if you're looking for that husband, you have to be able to look at the man with honor. That's how you're going to be able to deal with him. Not having a couple of arguments and you know, maybe y'all got into, again, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I've been there. I've seen it all. Whatever you get into and then it's like, oh, no, I'm done. I don't want to. No. We got to learn how to, watch what happened here. Read on.
And he shall rule over thee.
Who's the he? This is Adam. The Lord said, what about Adam over Eve?
And he shall rule over thee.
What does that mean, sis? When the man shall rule over his wife. If I said to you right now, Sister Lorraine, your husband has to rule over you, how you like those words? Sis said, I don't want to hear that. I don't like the sound of that. How about you, my sis? Kanice, right? Huh? Can you? I'm sorry. How do you like those words? You don't like it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I mean, for the Lord's sake, yeah, it sounds perfect because
I know what you're saying sounds good, but I'm asking you, do you like it? You hate it. You don't like the sound of it. That's why the Lord said, because again, we're coming up in America where our mind is destroyed.
Right.
If we're coming up in an honorable way, again, you would honor that man. You would see him as something better than what he is. You understand? He would see you as something better than you are. He would think 1,000,000,000 times before walking away. You understand? But because you and him weren't raised correctly, and I'm talking about myself, so I don't want you to take it personal. We all came up here. Because we don't see each other in an honorable way, we treat each other like garbage.
Right.
That's the whole point of us coming together as one under the Lord, so we can see each other with some, what's the word I'm looking for?
Dignity.
Value. That's right, value and dignity. You understand? So what you're saying, okay, that might be true, but we shouldn't be looking at everything like, oh, well, it's just for a season. Because then that means you can have 3 baby fathers. Right. That's what happens. You got women out here, they're with a man, and then they break up, and they get with another guy. All of a sudden, they got 3 baby fathers. But the point, now you're putting yourself in the jam. Now you got to find a man to come and take care of all these men's children. You see what I'm saying? So we have to do better.
Right.
We have to do better. Because you're a young woman. We have to do better. Even the brother Kevin Samuels, I don't know if you ever heard of him. A couple times I watched him, I don't know, you ever heard of Kevin Samuels? And he be talking to a lot of the women and asking them, what they want. And they want a man that makes big money and so on and so forth. They got 2 kids already from 2 different fathers, right? 2 different kids' fathers. They want this man to come in, and when he comes in, he got to be making big dough.
Damn.
And the big problem with that is because God is not included into it. So, in order for any bond, whether it's with family or relationship,
Right.
I'm being so serious. God has to be included into it because anything could be a problem.
No,
in
no,
that
duele
relationship.
más.
But
Whether
that's,
it's family,
Primo,
friends,
primo.
marriage, doesn't matter.
but that's correct, sis. That's why we're saying, in order for us, we have to change our lives.
Exactly.
Right? Give me Psalms. 19. Right? Watch this. We have to change our lives because it don't matter how we start, it matter how we end.
And not
Right?
use the Bible for our own personal use, but really read it to understand and study it. And it's good to read the Bible to understand.
Well, we using the Bible because, well, let me show you this. Our Bible, the Bible is the book of our fathers. This is our constitution, our photo album. All right? Shows us everything, how to live, how to move. So that's how we got to work it as a people. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we are the Israelites of the Bible. We the real Jews. So we have to keep this book and listen to it. But watch this.
This is Psalms chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect.
Right. The laws of God are perfect. You heard that, Lorraine? What we reading out of here is perfection, order, structure. All right? Law keeping. Right? Come on.
Converting the soul.
Converting our minds out of the baby mothers into the wife. Right? Out of the, yes sir, out of the baby father into the husband. You understand? Now we starting to learn how to be honorable amongst our people. All right? Come on.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
Now when we were in a dumb state, meaning we were simple as hell, now we're starting to become wise. We're starting to become smart. Why? Because we're keeping the laws of God. Now we're going to honor our wife. You think, we got a lot of brothers in the body who's married, right? A lot of brothers who are married. You think they don't have problems with their wife? Of course. In the Bible, it says, give me that, in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. In the Bible, it tells you you're going to have problems with your spouse. It literally tells you that. Watch this. So we shouldn't be, when we having arguments with our wife, that's not nothing new. Huh?
The first thing to do is start praying.
Well, the first thing you do is got to start figuring out where's that problem.
Exactly.
And you got to now get to the bottom of that problem. But we use the Bible to correct our issues, right? So for instance, you got a problem with your wife, she's moving around a little strange or whatever, you figure out what scripture to pull out. Now remember, she's in this as well, so when you pull the scripture, she's going to recognize where she's going. She's going to say, all right, we got to humble ourselves to the Bible though. Just like for the brothers, if we going off with each other, a brother going to say, oh, bro, you getting a little crazy right now. Hey, according to X, Y, Z, you ain't spoke. All right, you right. We got to humble ourselves, right? Watch this.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 28. But and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she hath not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh.
Right, trouble in the flesh. That means you're going to have problems in your marital relationship. Guess what? Let's say, for instance, and you might find this to be funny, but when a man is with a woman, this kind of stuff happens all the time. He might leave his socks on the ground every time. He might go take a shower, leave his underwear there all the time, and he's waiting for you to pick it up. Now in your mind, you're like, why is this guy, when he was alone, was he doing it? Who was picking it up? Now he want me to pick it up? So y'all wind up having contention or little stuff like that. Hey, listen, I want my chicken cooked like this. Why you keep making it like that? You start having arguments over that. I want my couch red. Why are you getting my couch in black? You having arguments over that. The Lord said there's going to be trouble in the flesh. Is that any reason to get a divorce? You see what I'm saying? But those arguments, if they're not nipped in the bud, it turns into what? You stop talking. Over little stuff. Now you're treating each other bad in the house. Now all of a sudden you going to work and my man Raheem on the job, hey, you look good today. Now all of a sudden you lend an ear to that. Now all of a sudden you in Raheem bed. Now all of a sudden your marriage is over. You see how it is? So that's why the Lord said there's trouble in the flesh. You're going to have problems with wifey, but you got to just dead that.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word,